Welcome in. I am your commissioner, Casey, as you all know. Welcome to my humble abode. Welcome to my studio, my dojo. Let's break it down on week 7 takeaways. I want to take a look at depth charts to start out, okay? We're almost halfway through the season, and some things jump out to me. Past the Mayo, depth across the board. Absolutely no holes. No holes here. It is interesting, though, how many teams are deciding on the one quarterback roster. Okay, Past the Mayo is one of them with Tua. Then we have Gaz with Lamar, Keegs with J.A., the Pimp with T-Law, and Nick with Mahomie. All right, so teams are confident in what they got going. They don't need to double up. All right. Also, another thing, Adam, what are you doing with Tyler Higbee? Okay, absolutely. What are you thinking? All right, looking at his stats. The man is a ghost. He's an absolute ghost, all right? 4-3-1 the last few weeks. And you have Goddard. Drop Higbee. He also has 2 ghosts on his team, T. Higgins, but we'll get to that later. Let's jump into the standings where we sit right now, all right? Take me down to Santos, running off with five wins. Same with Gaz, all right? But what really tells the story here, points for. Who's at the top there? Interesting. Wash Spank, huh? 917. He's really played great all year. It looks like he's led the league 3 weeks in points. Poshwank as well, his mini-me. All right, the boys are playing well. Then we get to a really interesting spot. Keegan's Pimp. Okay, Keegan's Pimp has absolutely just been through the ringer. 881 points for. All right, and he has 2 wins. Then comes Mayo, humbly, 874. 2 wins. These two teams combined 4-10, and they have the 3rd and 4th most points scored. Let's go to the bottom of this stack, huh? Let's take a look at Gaz and your boy Professor. All right, they're a combined 8-6, a winning record with paltry sub 800 scoring. Let's jump into the actual week. Mayo versus the Spank. Past the Mayo has number 1. Receiver, okay? Number 1, defense. They were on a bye, but they got number 1 defense. Boys are buzzing, okay? It's a tough week. Everyone's on a bye. His whole team was on a bye. Made a big trade this week, all right? Big trade. Brian Robinson and Paku Nakua for Laporta. Some may say that's a bad trade. All right, he's a 4th-ranked tight end. I needed something. I kind of baited Bradon into it a little bit. I'll be honest, Bradon. I baited you. Posh Wank and Wash Spank have 5 out of the 7 best weeks. Look out for that moving forward. Okay? Don't get them in the room together. Make them show their hands. Mahomes finally had his best week. 33 points, 4 tutties. JJIR. That's tough. All right? That is tough. He'll be reevaluated in 4 weeks. I don't know. That's his 1st-round pick. Another thing I'd like to point out, Dane dropped Christian Kirk in week 2. What are you going to do? It happens. Also, I want to point out DeAndre Swift's numbers. And this guy's been an absolute beast since week 1. You want to know where Dane drafted him? You want to know? Let's do a little research here. 83rd overall. Whoa, wait a second. Excuse me. Did I just make a mistake? Grant drafted him and dropped him. That's tough. All right, we're moving on. Gelch versus Dirty Nick. All right. Some things I want to point out here. Nick's lost 2 straight. Adams won 2 straight. Tides are turning. Tides really are turning. Nick has the best running back in the game. Is there any surprise there? No. Christian McCaffrey does his thing. 22 points. Number 1 kicker, Jake Elliott. This guy's been going crazy. All right. 2 18-point weeks. 2 11s. You love it when your kicker can give you anything. Anything at all. You love it when your kicker can give you something. If we go to breakdown, look at these boys here. We know Dane. We know Dane's had a good year. You look at these boys in the middle. 27 to 22. Boom, boom, boom. What's different from me, Bradon, and you, Nick? What's different? Nothing's different. Okay. So I don't want to hear it. All right. I don't want to hear it. Adam, on the other hand, he's got the 2nd best defense in the Bills. They had a little bit of an off week, but 2nd best defense there. It really helped when they beat up on Washington. Whatever. You have Breece Hall and Derrick Henry, okay? And They're finally starting to bounce back. We got Henry, okay? Henry 53 points over his last 3 with 2 touchdowns. You'd love to see that. And then Brees Hall absolutely going ham, 48 over his last 2, okay? And so he's finally finding his form. I'm surprised you didn't drop him, Adam. Dick versus Drew. Grant, he's won 3 straight. He's probably the hottest team in the league right now. Mostert off week, but Kelsey had his best week of the season. No wonder why. When Taylor's watching, he pops. So he had three straight, at least 20-point weeks. He picked up Dustin Hopkins, best kicker in the league. James, DJ Moore. We got to talk about DJ Moore because he's ranked 6th receiver. Okay, you want to know where James took him in the draft? Let's take a look. 57th overall. All right, James with the snake picks. Take DJ Moore, hit a little bit of off week, but he picked these 2 guys, Darren Waller and DJ Moore, back to back in like the 5th and 6th round. And Waller's been a solid tight end. He's been a solid tight end when this year tight ends have been awful. And James really needs that because CeeDee Lamb just is not cutting it. CeeDee Lamb has been a ghost. 25th ranked receiver. You're supposed to be wide receiver 1. You're supposed to be in the conversation with Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, and then Stephon Diggs, and then maybe CeeDee Lamb should be 4. By the way, this is sponsored by Poppy. So moving on to really the show that no one cared about. We have the pimp versus the cock. Big win for Bradon. I'm not going to lie. Huge win. This is the battle of the teams with the 2 most roster moves. Keegan's made 15 pickups. Bradon's made 20. And I've made 13. And who are your bottom 3 teams in the league? Us 3. So maybe sometimes you don't need to make ads. Keegan has bounced back since scoring 23.24 points in week 1. This was not his week, though. He has his number 1 quarterback in the league, Josh Allen. Like, this guy's just a stud. Like, he's a walking 25-point bucket. Mark Andrews been playing well. 3rd best tight end. And so he's been leaning on those guys for sure. Ever after his Dare Agumbwale loss, it's been really tough. Bradon, on the other hand, like I said, 20 roster moves. Most of these guys haven't been on his team since the beginning of the year. I think he's had ETN. He drafted ETN. Bijan, too. He drafted Bijan. Bijan, these nuts. And then I think Dameon Pierce was on his team. And Jamar Chase, obviously. And DK Metcalf. Besides those guys, Bradon's team is a carousel with legs. He did take Nick Chubb 20th overall. That's tough. 70%. Okay, 70% are waiver ads. 70% at Keegan's team he drafted. So, I mean, Bradon's making moves. Are they good moves? Who knows? Circling back to just the outlook on the league. I mean, there could be a lot of turmoil. There could be a lot of switch up. I mean, it's balanced. We got some guys at the top here. We got 5 straight wins out of these 2 combined. I'm flustered at the bottom. I'm flustered. All right. I'm looking to bounce back though. Bradon is looking to be on the calendar again, and boys, just look out because Mayo's about to start flowing. So keep your eyes peeled. This is your commissioner. We'll see you next week. Signing off. Week 7 updates.